Oh, hey everyone, I was taking care of Emily for Harold and Jenny. What's wrong? What's wrong, little girl? Would you like some milk? I don't think I can produce milk. Can I? No, I can't. That's a girl. Uh, Come on, be quiet. There you go. There you go. So, here recently, I made an episode called How Harold Met Jenny. And I don't often do this, but I wanted to give you all a behind-the-scene look at it. Because there were some scenes that I liked, but didn't make the cut, and it was an interesting process with this one. There was a lot of stories I got from it. So here it is, whether you like it or not, and I don't know, you might not like it. How Harold Met Ginny, a behind-the-scenes look. There was a lot of hard shots during How Harold Met Ginny. I remember Harold was constantly complaining when he had to do the proposing scenes because he was on his knees the entire time. And then there was the party scenes, which were difficult because everyone didn't want to sit around and wait for the lighting to go up and the camera to be positioned just right. But we managed to work with them. And then there was that whole thing where Cortland was like, those two aren't legally wed. We weren't expecting that. That was not scripted. But it did end up being a great way to end off the entire video. So it was a crazy time. But the hardest scene that we did was the snowman scene. Harold had to position himself in just the right way so he could hit it, and he ended up going down the hill several times before finally we managed to get this shot. We had to rebuild that snowman 3 times to get it right. We also had to worry about the weather. There hasn't been a lot of snow this year in Garrett County, but finally we managed to get 2 days. And on the first day, it was sunny, and I was working in the mud trying to get this scene shot. We were throwing snow onto the hill to make it look realistic. But the second day was a lot better. We had plenty of snow, and I did have some trouble. The snowman fell down on its own at one point, but we ended up getting what I think was a good shot. The editing process can be summed up in one word: care. You have to scrutinize every scene to see whether it needs to be cut or kept. There have been plenty of scenes that I have kept which I later regretted keeping, and there have been plenty of scenes that I have cut which I later regretted cutting. But this episode had a scene which I didn't know what to do with, and it was so hard for me to end up cutting it, because it was important to the story. It showed Harold and Ginny together, finally being able to get along with each other. And it was also a very funny scene with them eating canned food. They were poor at the time. There was a boot with a candle in it. It was romantic, but it was too long. So I ended up cutting it. But in case that had been a bad decision, I've decided to show it all for you now. So here it is. Make up your own mind. Should I have actually cut this? Sometimes the things that go wrong on this episode can be perfect in their own way. Take this scene, for instance, which I promised Harold I wasn't going to show, but makes me feel better because now I know I'm not the only one who has a problem with matches. Here is Harold trying to light the candle boot, and please, don't tell him that I showed you this. And that was a behind-the-scene look at how Harold met Ginny. This one was a difficult episode to make. It took me from the moment that I released yesterday up to the release date of How Harold Met Ginny, so about 3 months. And if you want to show that you support these kind of videos, please go watch it. I don't want to feel like my attempts were in vain. I really need you all to go watch that video. And also, uh, as always, for the love of whatever religion you practice, subscribe. I could use a few subscribers. Although the ones I have are already pretty cool. But if you'll excuse me, I am going to go and get Emily. I'll be right back.